Quilting has been in my family for forever, generations of quilters. My mom and my grandmother, I grew up, with them quilting, and I remember sewing at 9, starting sewing at 9 with 4-H, and that got me started into the basic sewing. And there was a quilt frame up that was probably 8 foot long, and they would sit there and hand sew it, and then they taught me how to do it. I was probably around 12, 13 when I started learning and helping them quilt their quilts. Probably my first quilt that I made as a whole was when I was pregnant with my daughter, and that was the start of really my love for it. I started with like a 9-patch for my first quilt, and I really just followed the pattern and pieced it together, and then hand quilted it. I definitely like the challenge now, different designs and a little bit harder quilts. I'm not drawn to the basic 9-patch anymore. Just doing those intricate angles, like in my Frank Lloyd Wright one, had a lot of angles in it. How it all started was my daughter was interior design at Villa, and they had her an assignment to go to a Frank Lloyd Wright house. So one weekend we decided to go, and we went to the Buffalo one, and then after that we went to the one down on the lake. They have a gift shop. I actually was so amazed that I found a Frank Lloyd Wright book, because I had never seen it before. So here I got this book, and I for a little while I did nothing with it, and then I finally decided I'm gonna make a king-size quilt. I had my daughter. She picked out all of her fabrics. I pretty much tripled the size. I had to make adjustments. The black lines, if I would have tripled them, it wouldn't have looked right. So I adjusted that. Then I made that for her, gave it to her. Then my other daughter wanted one. Luckily, I only have 2 daughters, so I made her one. She picked all of her fabrics out as well, out of my stash. And the third one, that's mine. And I didn't make very good notes along the way, so I had to kind of redo all the math every time. Not all of it, but some of it. Kind of found a lot of times the stuff that jumps out are good for borders, and then they can work as drawing in fabrics for the inside of your quilt. You can pick out pieces of the different colors that are in that and bring them into the quilt. Things that complemented each other, and would give that the feeling of the glass. A lot of my quilts I give away, and I want them to be used. I don't want them to be set on a shelf or hung over. If they're worn in 20 years, I'm happy. I want it to be well loved, well used. I think being able to give something that I've put my heart into to other people, I like the peace of it.